All right, if you want to graph a parabola when it's in vertex form, then you need to change it so it's in vertex form if you are presented with an equation such as this. So a lot of people think graphing it from vertex form is a lot easier, so let me show you how to convert this. First off, I rearrange the terms and kind of separate the ones that have x's from the constant, which that's pretty much done in this case. And then you have your minus 7 over here. And then if you just focus in on the part that has the variables, you want the coefficient in front of whatever squared to be 1. In this case, it is a 3. So we have to factor out a 3 from both of those terms so that we have just an x squared. And then I like to rewrite it. Some of this you can definitely just combine some of these steps, but I rewrite it so there is a space so I can complete the square. So in order to figure out what goes in that space, you take the middle term, -2, you divide it by 2, and then you square it. So you have y equals 3x squared minus 2x, and then -2 divided by 2 is -1, squared is +1, and then minus 7. And then you need to ask yourself, okay, I can't just add that 1 there. I need to add the same number on both sides of the equal sign, or if I just want to add it on one side, if I want to add 1 on one side, I can subtract 1 to kind of cancel it out. So let's think about, what did we actually add so far on the right side? I see this 1 here, but that's not just 1. This is inside the parentheses. This is actually 3 times 1. We're actually adding a 3. So if we want to add 3 here inside those parentheses, then we need to subtract a 3. Because adding 3 and subtracting 3 just cancels that out. We haven't changed the value of our equation at all. So let's simplify this then. And then we have minus 10. Now let's factor what's inside the parentheses. So when you're factoring what's inside the parentheses, we completed the square, so we know that something is being squared. And we know it says x squared minus 2x plus 1. We know the first term has to be an x. In order to figure out what goes in here, you could look at this and say, okay, what are two numbers that multiply to be the last number, add to be the middle number, and figure that out. There's lots of ways you could factor this polynomial, but kind of a quick way, a little shortcut, is to look up at step number 3 when we took a number and we divided it by 2. You look at what you got there. What is -2 divided by 2? -1. And that is what goes in, that is what we are squaring. That's what goes inside the parentheses. And you can double check yourself if you want. Over on the side, say, is that right? X minus 1 squared, or x minus 1 times x minus 1 gives us x squared, -1x, -1x, +1. Yeah, if we simplify that, that is x squared minus 2x plus 1. So now we have the equation, but it is now written in vertex form, and we can more easily graph that parabola.